Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. Welcome to the Monday Grind. Thanks for kicking your week off with the Unsigned Showcase. We got 6 bands to check out today. Now, we called the Monday Grind, but today we're not strictly grinding out. What we're doing today in the extreme section is heaviness. These 6 bands that we've got to check out are some of the 6 heaviest bands you're ever going to hear. Just absolutely crazy mixes to blow your ears out with the sound, and just super modern. Really, really nice music. So let's kick off with these guys. Teeth. They're going to Let It In. They're on Nuclear Blast. Let's give it a spin. Look at that bass. Man, these bands nowadays are so friggin' heavy. The mix is just absolutely slam. You can hear every member of the band. The bass is right in there like I was talking about last week. But just the heaviest sound, the biggest sound, the chunkiest sound in the universe. Absolutely loved it. Wicked video as well for this one. Amazing. And I just want to as well give a quick shout out to Nuclear Blast, who are a bigger record label. They're not kind of unsigned showcase material normally. And there's a bunch of bands on Nuclear Blast. When I check them out, I think, oh my God, how did this band get on anything? You know, they're just not great music in my opinion. However, there are a handful of bands on Nuclear Blast, which are some of the dopest bands going around. Super modern, fresh, heaviest metal, some tech death as well in there with Fallujah and stuff as well who are on Nuclear Blast, I think. But yeah, they got some absolutely amazing bands on their label as well, and some real shitters as well, I've got to be honest. This is a heavy band, I Curse. This track's called Disfigurement. Let's give it a spin. 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 Solid track. Wicked video again. Love that. Man, I'm thinking after listening to that first band, bands like this and mixes like this used to be heavy as hell. And if you'd show someone to it, they go, Jesus, that's noisy. Then if you were to show them the teeth stuff now, it's significantly louder, significantly heavier as a result as well. I don't know how those guys do it. I can do these guys kinds of mix. I cursed and get that kind of thick death metal chunky sound, but it's not super loud and blasting down your ears. But yeah, these guys who do the teeth stuff and the extra modern mixes nowadays, they take it to the next level. I think these guys do that as well. Silverlake Murder. This one's called The Shape. Let's give it a spin. Significantly louder and more punchy. So heavy. Stockholm heavy is what it's called. Man, the bands nowadays are just absolutely crazy. Again, a superb video for this one. We're killing it for the videos. What's that? 3 for 3 with superb videos. Let's have a look, see if these guys tell us who mixed and mastered it. Yes, they do. Theo Mascietto at Primordial Hand Audio. Well, Theo knows how to mix music in a way I've got no idea how to do it. My stuff kind of sounds like I cursed, thick and chunky, but it's got a limit to how loud you can push it. It's just, once you push it past that, it just distorts and loses its clarity and, you know, just starts to kind of frazzle out. People like Theo and another bunch of other folks who are these super modern mixers have figured out how to get the most ridiculous punchy drums to kick through the mix, still have a clarity, still be able to hear the ride tinging, the cymbals and the hi-hats and all the rest of it, while still having stupidly thick guitars with a real high-end bite and stuff, but with a kind of low end to it as well. The bass cuts through in a crazy way and still have place for the vocal to sit in there with a massive loud roar and distortion, and everything have a clarity to that sound. It doesn't blow out. There's a couple of sections in here where they did like bass drops and stuff, which always blows out the low end. That's just what it's meant to do. But in general, you can hear every section of the band. You can hear the tightness of the guitars. Every snare hit and kick and everything comes through the mix with a punch, and it hits you and vibrates your ears. And it's like 20% louder than any other music, even the loudest music was, up until the last kind of 3 or 4 years ago. The new guys, I think it's new VSTs, AI VSTs and things as well help, but just the modern mixing techniques have taken a step up since 2020 to where music nowadays is louder than it's ever been, punchier than it's ever been, thicker than it's ever been, heavier than it's ever been, and it just makes the whole thing sound absolutely extreme as hell down your ears, vibrates your cranium. Amazing. So shout out to people like Theo for this new style of music and sound down our ears. Killer. This is a band I think is new to the channel, Not Enough Space, and The Devil Left Them on Red, which I think is a pretty cool name. Let's give it a spin. Sick. Loved it. Wow, what a great groove to this one, and just bounce and heaviness and thickness, all that stuff coming through. Again, the bass was amazing. Yeah, love the singers as well. Not often you see a double-fronted, female-fronted band with no cleans and just ripping out. Absolutely loved it. So hopefully see these guys again more in the future. That was great. Yeah, loved it. Here's a cool band, Johnny Booth. They're going to get well soon. Let's give them a spin.
It's like the virgin.
Wicked. Man, these are a great band. Another super video. We're doing so great from these high quality videos from these underground bands. Absolutely love it. But man, cool band with more than just heaviness going on, you know. Super heavy, super loud, super crazy, but then some nice chilled sections, some ambience, some emotion in there as well to bring a dynamic to the heaviness. Very cool. Now we're going to finish off with this last band called TYRANT. They've got a bitter pulse. They're going to blast us to the end. Here we go. Big sound. Yeah, loved it. Don't hear music too often like this, normally from a one-man band. I'm not too sure about this one, though. We'll have to see about that. Oh, yeah, it is. Connor Mayeros does everything. I love it when one-man bands make this kind of music. It's just really, it's got like a personal vibe to it. You can hear all their personal ideas coming through the music. Some of the sounds in this was super nice. I love that kind of sound that you get in this music. Sounds amazing. It's got a really nice bassiness to it. Particular attention paid to the low end on this kind of music, because loads of big fat low end sounds, but that didn't blow out the mix. So obviously some dampening down there on certain frequencies of the low end so that they push through the mix, but without absolutely taking it over and giving it that punch and stuff. So I think every band today, they've had a different mix, but they've really shown us what modern mixes can sound like, and just how wicked modern mixes sound. And even if your band isn't blasting out grindcore extreme as in 240 BPM, you can still sound the loudest, most extreme sound in the universe with these kind of mixes, with these kind of guitar tones and bass tones and all the rest of it as well. It's just so heavy and thick. That's what makes it extreme. So that's why I wanted to do that one today, and push these kind of bands through the Monday grind as well. So we just get pummeled every single week, you know. That's the idea. Yeah, you listen to bands that you just go, that band is ridiculous. What's going on? Why are they so heavy? Why are they so extreme? We want those kind of bands on this channel every Monday to just blow our socks off and kick off the week in the right way. That's what it's all about. So I hope you've enjoyed these guys today. Hopefully we see them all again at some point in the future to rattle the wax out of our ears again, because that was a real loud one today. Almost had to turn it down. But yeah, that's it from me. Hope you have a good week and all that jazz. We'll see you back for the Monday grind. Cheers, guys. Bye.